But we received this phone call from the police, the local police, telling us, you are putting this shopping mall safety in danger.
How did you overcome that challenge?
We did it.
What is the difference between the storytelling for recruitment versus building a loyalty?
You should listen to the users. You should listen to their needs.
What's the one single thing that they should do?
I need to think about it. I'd like to share a story about our brand Clear. I was like, so you have no idea of this industry. You really don't know how to talk to these people.
My kids tease me all the time and I still have my Eastern European accent.
Creating an experience for a brand is what makes people connect with that brand and remember that.
My guest today is a true international marketeer and a brand builder. She started her career in one of the most interesting and requiring markets. She then changed industries and moved to a global role, far away from home, to move the continents and start working here in Canada 3 years ago. Zoha, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Petra. Thank you for having me today. And thank you for the intro. So I'm Zoha. I'm so happy to be with you today to share my story, how I started my career in Iran. I can call it one of the very unique markets for marketers around the world. And I want to share my story, how my career started there and how I ended up here in Canada.
Tell us a little bit more about the market itself. Not many of us know so many details. We're unfortunately familiar with some sad news from that part of the world, but we're going to focus on business for sure. And tell us the market conditions and in general, it's a big market, right? 80 million people almost, right?
Yeah, it's an 80 million market. It's very young and dynamic with a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, too many layers of restrictions, legal boundaries, bans by the culture, by the government. And I can call disconnected from other markets in the world.
So you started your career with the big brand, which was not a CPG, FMCG, LG.
Yeah, LG.
What was the biggest challenge for you while you were there?
The biggest challenge when I started the business as a marketer there, or the biggest challenge for the brand?
The biggest challenge for the brand.
So when I started to work with LG, we were about to launch LG G2, one of LG mobile phones. So the brand was quite known in the market and globally, but mobile phones was something new to our market, and we not with not a very good reputation. So it was the challenge for us that time, considering Samsung as a very big player there with a lot of money to, cover and support all the communications. We wanted to say, hey, we are here, come and switch to an LG phone. So it was super challenging. We wanted to make a big news. That was the agenda globally. And Iran was supposed to follow that. And we did it. We did it, and it turned out to be one of the best global campaigns that time. And we made... Do you want me to share the story?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had this amazing manager that time. This guy, Benjamin, was very sharp and very brave, I call him. This is what I learned from him. So what he planned for was to make a big buzz in the market and, in order to drive the trial and, make people go and buy the phone, he said that if you line up here, for example, in one of our brand shops in a very specific area in north of Tehran, to the first 200 people, we give a 25% discount. And honestly, we didn't expect that big number of people to line up. But we received this phone call from the police, the local police, telling us, you are putting this shopping mall safety in danger. Come and say, like we cannot have people for a quite long time here. And that was the beginning. So like all the, let's say the media was talking about that long line made there. And we had to ask the people go to a cinema, a theater, and collect them there to, to draw that time. We wanted to draw because the number was so big. And yeah, like we gave 25% discount to the first 200 people. And then a lot of people were mad because they spent the night there. Then we did something else for them, another less discount, if I'm not wrong, 10% that time. And then, when the whole media started to talk about that, at that night, we had our launch ceremony. And it was when people started to recognize the new LG phone and talk about it and want to try it. And that was also the starting my marketing career, I can say.
So it's a great story, and I love it. It's breaking the news and grabbing the attention with a price discount. Sounds like a basic thing, but building such a big buzz is always great. Did you use any other lever apart from the price discount to drive the story and to tell the story about the LG?
Yeah, so before that, we started to talk about this new phone coming to the market. People and all the features it had. The billboards were there for the teasing part. And that night, they changed to another phase. And about the features, that time, the features that phone had was totally different. So I give the credit of that to the designers, actually, to the global leaders of the brand. But this is what made our product more interesting to the young generation. Try to have with the key at the back that you could touch on the phone. Yeah, these days it's something very simple and ordinary. But in 2012, it was something, very interesting.
I agree. I had some similar examples where basically price discount always helps, but then finding a good connect, especially if you're targeting a younger target audience, something that is relevant for them, is definitely gonna drive the awareness and help break through. We used to have to launch the co-packing for Jaffa cakes back in the days, actually about the same time, and we launched a video game for kids, and that was just a gift pack that had an amazing sales and draw a lot of younger audience to the brand.
Sorry, just let me add this. Maybe I think. Actually, I believe what kind of changed the story for us was to make those young people think that they can be different and stand out from the crowd by using a very different and unique phone.
Yeah.
Like everyone used to have a Samsung or Huawei those days in Iran. So an LG phone with different features and different look could help them shine and say, that's me, that's my phone, I'm different.
So from LG, you actually moved to Unilever, one of the biggest FMCGs, CPGs. How's brand marketing and storytelling different for CPG versus for the appliance brand or like LG?
So there are many similarities and differences. So if I want to talk about the differences, I can say for let's say for electronics, you don't have that long time for communication, and the brand life cycle, the product life cycle actually is shorter because it's a technology. So you have to be very quick, and you have to land your message very, very good and properly, sell, make it go in, and then you have to switch to another product. Which in FMCG brands for personal care, it's not like that. Like there, you need to recruit you need to talk to and recruit new users, but at the same time, make them loyal to that brand and make them to be a loyal user for quite a longer time.
And what is the difference between the storytelling for recruitment versus building a loyalty?
You should listen to the users. You should listen to their needs, and you should see. You should find the gaps and try to fill that and talk to their language, to their hearts, to their minds. So this is how and where you can recruit them. And for loyalty, it's about the quality you deliver and to trying to keep relevant to them and to their needs, and to answer to their needs over time as quickly as possible, because new needs they might have new needs over time. Because of all the changes or in the market, in the, let's say, in the industry, even in their lives. And a smart brand should be fast enough, quick enough to learn about that and quickly adapt to that by either launching a new product or improving the current one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I keep thinking about the conversation that we had moments ago about the challenges of actually building a personal hair care brand for ladies in a market such as Iran, which basically culturally provides a challenge because of wearing hijab and everything. So how did you overcome that challenge?
I like it. I really like this question. How me and my friends back in Iran overcome all the legal challenges and cultural barriers to communicate about something like hair, which is something that government, especially back that time, didn't compromise at all. I'd like to share a story about our brand Clear, because I used to work on Clear, Dove, and Sunsilk. So Dove has its own stories. Globally, it's mostly, communicated through women and stories about them. Yeah. But for example, for Clear has two different portfolios for men and women. In other markets, the women portfolio used to be, and is still, quite strong with women brand ambassadors. But globally and in Iran, it was mostly known as a men shampoo because of Chris Ronaldo, that used to be our global brand ambassador. So for us also, it was a big challenge how to let women out there know that we have a very different portfolio for their own needs and for their hair. We couldn't show hair on the billboards. We couldn't show hair in our videos. We couldn't even talk about the exact needs. So first we tried to make a couple of videos. For example, we learned that most Iranian women, follow whatever their doctors say, or when a specialist say, the endorsements. So we started to make some videos showing, for example, a professional at the lab endorsing a formula. But this was something that other brands were doing as well. So we started to do in-store activities. But there was this moment of World Cup that we were about to introduce our local brand ambassador that time.
Soccer World Cup, yes?
Yes, a football player, Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh. And then we thought that's a good time because football and national team was something that both men and women share those moments. So it's a good time to, let them know that there is something for them as well. So we launched this video showing men and women staying off our national team to the airport, to the World Cup. But unfortunately, suddenly there was this feminist movement saying that no, there were, 10 shots of men, only 2 shots of women. You don't recognize women. Clear is not a women is not a brand recognizing women. And we were like, no, it wasn't what we were thinking. And then I remember I called this one of our agencies and said, hey, and they were called Redline, hey guys, we have this issue. In 5 days' time, there's another football match, and I want the story changed. I want these stories going around social media about Clear. Can you help us? And we had this scenario to record a video in our own office for this freestyle football playing. And we suddenly changed that story, showing some girls doing that. So what we showed was these girls sharing the joy of watching a football match with their male colleagues and playing freestyle football in the office, in our own office. And we did this video, edited everything in 2 days, and the video was launched. And oh my God, suddenly, we make them feel that, hey, you belong here too. We see you. And everything changed. Yes, Clear is the very first brand recognizing women. We love it. And then that time, when we got the attention to the brand, we had the chance to talk about a specific formula for their hair as well. And that was a turning point for Clear.
I love the story so much, especially because of that short time turnover. Sometimes that pressure also squeeze the best out of us. You were also in the global role with Unilever. So how is storytelling different from global versus the local perspective?
As the word says, globally. So it's not talking to people only in one market, but in different markets, different cultures, different backgrounds, and different restrictions, let's say. Like every geography and every culture has their own limitations and also opportunities. So being in a global role means first you have to have a close connection with your local teams and to listen to those markets as well. Try to find the similarities and find a story that can resonate to most of the markets. Like, for example, talking about Chris Ronaldo, he's a global icon that is loved everywhere. It couldn't be working for us if we had someone else that wasn't known in different markets. Or football is something that in most of the countries is loved. So, that is what makes the global role a little bit different, and also the planning.
So that internal storytelling role that basically you have to explain and motivate the local market to accept the global campaign, the global asset, is of the utmost importance. And I had the same when I was in Carlsberg. What was your biggest challenge in telling that story internally? Like when you were launching a new campaign and giving the global toolkit or the global assets to your markets, when you were motivating and discussing it with the local markets, what was the biggest challenge for you there?
First, it was about the planning. When there was this agenda to roll out a let's say, a project all at the same time in different markets to make sure you deliver the assets on time, you talk to the people, to the team, you check all the translations, make sure the message is intact, it doesn't change when it's translated into another language. Even if it's a right fit for them, or if you need to edit and adapt something for that market. So it means you need to have a lot of calls, late night calls, early morning calls, and these alignments are very important. And I remember that time in some markets like Indonesia, we couldn't even have a proper TVC. So TV commercials weren't that working. So we had to have VHS or CDs that we had to, actually the local team needed to prepare to, pass the message to the audience. So this means a lot of teamwork and a lot of planning. And yeah, I'm not sure if I could get back to your question.
But you did basically aligning the agendas and making the project roll out mostly at the same time across different markets.
Yeah.
But then facing local challenges like local legislation or local technical difficulties is also always. One of the key things to take into consideration when rolling out the global campaign. When you were building your brands, where did you start with crafting the storytelling, and how did you guys have any specific process, or how did that look?
Everything starts from the consumer inside. You should be close to them, listen to them, and see what they really want to hear. Because informations and facts can be forgotten very soon. But when you tell a story, that information changes to impression. And the more you learn about them, the better you can shape that story. So for us as a team, it was about a lot of consumer studies, talking to them closely, home visits, store visits. And for me at personal level, I even used to take on subway, going from one place to another and just listen to people.
Yeah.
Because people, I know it might be strange, but yeah, this is what I used to do. Just listen and see how everything is changing in the market and try to quickly adapt to that.
Yeah. So then you moved from consumer marketing to B2B marketing. Mm-hmm. What was the name of the
Givaudan.
company? Givaudan. What do they do?
So Givaudan is the world-leading manufacturer for fragrance and flavor, basically a supplier of almost all of the FMCG brands out there. And yeah, it's a B2B, but at the end of the day, for me, every sales is human to human, right? So again, for me, it wasn't that far from marketing or B2C. I needed to sell my story to another person, and once they buy it, I could sell my product.
So how did that look?
Amazing. I loved it. It was a challenge for me. It was a big shift in my career, but I wanted to give another edge. I was very, a big dreamer, that I could see myself in a high leading role, and I wanted to give another edge to my career. So I said yes to that challenge. And what I did for the first, they call it the first 90 days, I started to learn about the business itself and learn about fragrances, take the lessons. But what I learned was that there is something about me as a marketer and my storytelling talent and expertise that I can bring into sales. And because in my market, I was in charge of a local market and I knew the market, I turned out to be like a consultant to the companies that were supposed to be my clients. So I could tell, tell them about the needs of the market and how our new fragrances could help them make a story and launch their product. And again, behind each fragrance, there's a longer story. It's all about stories, let's say, to help them buy. And, fragrance is something that I bet you also, when you review a memory, you can even remember the smell of everything. Because people smell, since they open their eyes in the morning, they are exposed with different fragrances and smells, and that shapes their memory as well. So, yeah, this was how I could, make stories to sell the product.
So it's an amazing story, actually, like using the previous experience to help your existing or future customers, to explain them how the product that you're actually selling is going to help them in their business.
Yeah,
I think that every good salesman needs that. You moved then here to Toronto, and now you're leading the entire marketing for a startup, which is a whole new world.
Yeah.
So how do startups tell stories?
Oh my God, stories. Yeah, startup story is also very different. Like when I look back at my career path, I'm like, there are many big shifts. And it seems interesting. But startup is completely different. Yeah, I could call myself a brand manager, an account manager, but now here in startup, I don't know what to call myself exactly. Like every moment I'm wearing a different hat. I work for this startup, a tech startup in wind industry. And our job is about data acquisition, data management, analytics for wind farm operators. And first, I found it really challenging for myself. I was like, so you have no idea of this industry. You really don't know how to talk to these people. And do you really think that you can do this? It was the conversation going on in my mind almost every day. But the moment I realized, I reminded myself that, Zoha, still you're talking to people. And once you find something that they can resonate with, you can connect with them, and you can sell. Everything is solved. So our team and I started to make our clients, our potential clients, make them feel how their life would be changed once they start to use our tool. And we started to share the stories of the current users of our tool. Like, in wind farm operation, there are a lot of things, a lot of variables for them to watch, a lot of data that can make everything very complicated. So what we do for them is to collect that data, do some analysis, and give them visibility so they can, decrease the downtime, decrease the losses, increase the efficiency, and get more visibility over the operation. So once we share the story of other operators in the market and how their life has changed since the moment they started to use the tool, because they can imagine themselves in those shoes, they really see the benefit, and they switch to use our product.
Yeah, I get it. With all that amazing experience, what would be your advice for brands that are new, that need to get the attention and get into consideration of the potential buyers, shoppers, consumers, customers, clients. What would be your advice for what's the one single thing that they should do?
Stay close to their customers and listen and watch them carefully.
Okay. So listen to your customers.
Yes.
In order to tell the good story, you have to listen. Well, I love that a lot. I worked in different industries, but also working across different markets. What I find, what I used to find very frustrating when I was working for some of the marketing banned industries or very controlled industries, was how to build the brand and build the distinctive assets and create the memory structure for the end consumer in order to create the either a trial or a loyalty. And I remember how frustrated I was. Basically, you have to say things and you have to attract people, but you got only so few things to say because of all the bans. What is the best way to overcome that? You mentioned how the challenges that you were having in marketing and building a personal care brand for ladies in Iran, which at the time, and I guess today as well, has a very strict laws on wearing hijab, and basically you want to tell the story, but it's almost as if it is forbidden to tell it. How do you overcome that barrier?
Creativity. You should be more creative. Like sometimes people think, or I also used to think, that restrictions kill creativity, but it's not the case. Like you should be more creative to find new ways and again, be watchful to find the opportunities. So, yeah.
I cannot agree more. The creativity is something that we all need in all aspects of our business. So, I mean, it's needless to say how technology is impacting marketing and the communication, and especially for the CPG brands that have been very strong in their media campaigns with big budgets. It's all shifting now. What is the best way to get the story out there in today's world, in your opinion, and based on all the experience that you have from different markets?
People talking to people is proof to work. So I think still social platforms, when like brands can be more authentic and benefit from real people sharing their stories, is the best way to talk to the audience. And yeah, this is where that they can resonate the best. Like previously, everything used to be very, let's say, stage made, but now with all the changes in the world, the generation and everything, authenticity is what that brands should consider more, to be more authentic, and yeah.
And in a market such as our Canadian market, where retail is very robust and hard to break into, what is the easiest way for the new brand in CPG to build the traction, create a big story, and create the demand so it's asked for by the end consumer?
I need to think about it.
Is it relentlessly investing into opening doors for a smaller moms and pops shop and investing in the route to market? Is it launching an e-com platform? Is it basically building and creating a buzz and a word of mouth and social media, so then create a pressure on the big retailers to get the brand in? Like, what could be the, like, or is there a combination of different things?
It could be anything. Like, it depends on the brand, its audience, and the message they want to land. Like, different vehicles can be used based on the character of the brand that you want to make and introduce, and the characteristics of your audience. So, like what I said previously, you should do a proper market study and get to know the people that you want to connect to well, and see where you can make a closer connection to them. Yeah. So
basically taking a small steps in the different channels. How do you find creating an experience for the brand important for the building and for the growth?
Okay, good question. Like, how do you remember something? Like, usually your memories, like when you can, like, I don't know, let me see how I can put it. Like, creating an experience for a brand is what makes people connect with that brand and remember that. Like, once you manage to shape a memory and once you manage to connect to people, this is where they start to love you, and this is where you can remember in their minds and their hearts.
So yes, I agree. Like, creating that engagement is very important, and then telling a story throughout that engagement is something that basically connects and brings in the consumer. We can create engagement online, we can create it offline in real life, and we have AI stepping in and helping us in all the sorts of the storytelling. So I'm not going to ask you what do you think about how it's going to change the world, because it's already doing it, but how do you think that human interaction is going to be important for the brand building and for the basically storytelling in the future?
The human interaction is everything, if you ask me. Each brand is talking about a product which the idea was made when thinking of another human or the human needs. So you cannot disconnect these two from each other. And these interactions, they are changing. Once they used to be more face-to-face, then they changed to another platforms. Now these days, it's mostly online. Honestly, I have no vision of future, but still I believe there will be other means for human to connect, because we are human and we, like, our lives have meaning when we live together.
Yeah.
So,
I saw a post today that was created completely by AI, and I honestly didn't recognize the difference. And I think we'll have more and more of that. But what I think is the most important is that brands will be able to create stories with the AI, but if that stories create fake promises, then it will fail in the real life, and the consumers will recognize that. The protection of the trademarks or like the celebrities is gonna play a big role and it should have started already because it can so easily be compromised. Zoha, thank you so much for the great discussion and great stories. I love to end this podcast with 2 questions, actually. What is your favorite brand?
My favorite brand, generally?
Dove.
Dove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why Dove?
It's so real. It's so authentic. It's so me. It's so every person that it's talking to. And it doesn't, like, what it's encouraging is to be yourself. And this is what I really like.
Yeah. I remember using that Dove campaign about how women see themselves with a Skechers versus how he sees them. Is one of the greatest campaigns of across categories, in my opinion, as well. And
Yeah.
I think I agree. It is a great brand.
Yeah.
One last thing. Do you have a question for me?
Yeah, why not? You ask me too many questions. It's time to pay back. So you've been here in this market longer than me.
Yeah.
And you know this market longer than me. So just let me know what could be your piece of advice for someone like me who is kind of new to the market and wants to build a career here.
Oh yeah, it is a great question. Well, I think the great upsides of Canada, and well, maybe Canada is too big word. Maybe I should look into Ontario. It's really welcoming, and it really does provide the opportunities for the newcomers. However, those opportunities are not laid out openly. You gotta uncover them. I think what I used to worry a lot, what I think I mentioned is English language barrier is more in our heads. I think just explaining and be authentic. Don't worry to express yourself, because as a newcomer to the market, you will never sound like someone who grew up here. Like my kids tease me all the time, and I still have my Eastern European accent, and it is what it is. You cannot change that. But expressing yourself, just being real and authentic. I think Canadians, above all cultures that I've seen, have the highest sensor about recognizing if someone's fake or not. So being authentic and being who you are, actually embracing what you're bringing to this market, is something that one should do when they come here. And then also of course, understanding and making sure you uncover the opportunity for you. My experience here is basically the thing you got to do is to ask, and you won't get the answer yes every time, but in most cases you will.
Thank you for that.
So that's all. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you for having me today and for this interesting conversation.